Good morning.
Good morning. It was a long night last night.
Yeah, stayed up a little too late.
Yeah.
But
That's okay.
Alright.
Alright, wing clipping day. Let's go clip these guys. So that way, hopefully, fingers crossed, we won't have anybody else out.
Good morning.
Morning snuggles. So, normally with older, like, birds or chickens, you don't have to do this all the time. But since these guys are still growing, their feathers are still growing. In case you haven't seen this before, so they have these long feathers that come out down here, and then there's a line that comes across and goes over of shorter feathers, and there's probably like 5 or 6 different layers of those. We're just cutting those first long feathers. There's no nerves in them, there's no nothing, so they don't feel a thing, but it keeps them from being able to jump up and then fly. You can do one, and then the other one will just keep them in a spiral. But I'm gonna do both, just because we've had so many issues with them literally just whoop, jumping up and over. So. Sometimes you get a little surprise when you do that. So I'm gonna go change my shirt. Then we'll knock out all the chores this morning, and then I don't know what we're gonna do today. I've got work at 2 o'clock. Then they need to be moved, but I haven't found the place that I want them to go yet. So I've got to figure out where I want them to go. That's gonna be the big issue. That's better. Much, much, much better. So clean shirt. It happens sometimes. It's part of owning animals. Excuse me, sir. Alright, so let's talk a little bit about more in depth what I'm doing at Starbucks, and then what I had the other day. I hit on the information that I was going to be training. So I'm training to be a shift supervisor, which is great. It's not the same pay that I had at Transporter Works. It's definitely better than minimum wage, so that's nice. But I think it'll go good. I think it's going well. It's me transferring my knowledge as a barista, and then also the knowledge that I already have in certain leadership roles, and transferring that into an active leadership role, instead of just kind of stepping in and teaching people when they need it. So I definitely have some learning to do, because the leadership role here that I'm in here is different than the one that I would have been at Transporter Works. But that's a good thing. It means I'm growing. But yeah, I'm excited. I am super excited, and it's nice to be in a place where you're actually wanted. I know that sounds harsh. I think it's gonna be a really good thing. I love the team that I work with. I love the store that I work with. I always feel like I'm wanted there. I always feel like I have friends, and it's like a one big happy family kind of thing, which is nice, because some small businesses that I've worked before have not been that way. I didn't feel like I was wanted there. I was just more or less just getting paid. Some of that might be me, some of it might not. So if you run a small business, make sure you check in with your employees. It's always important. Just clipped wings. Go get 'em, Finn. But yeah, that's my 2 cents for today. If you run a small business, check on everybody that works for you, because they may have some things they're not telling you. So always make sure that everybody is feeling like they deserve to be there, or wanted to be there, or whatever. But I enjoy my store. I think this is a good leadership role for me. I'm excited to learn all the ups and downs. I did a very similar thing when I used to work at the auto parts store. I just didn't have the title, nor did I get the pay. So this is nice. This is really, really, really nice. Thanks, guys. If you're watching this, I appreciate you. It's always fun to come out and get a duck egg, because I think we're used to like chicken eggs, but we're still getting used to these big old duck eggs. And we've been getting about one a day. So it's been a lot of fun to just come out and they've got 3 nests in here. So it's been fun to kind of come out and just try to find which one it is. If we have one, one day we had 2. So it's been a lot of fun. I've been thinking a lot about next year, how we're not going to do as much as far as animals go. And I guess I've been kind of hard on myself, but I feel kind of I don't know the word I'm looking for, but I feel kind of indifferent about it, and I've been trying to figure out why. So what I've been doing is I've been watching other people's journey, their story in homesteading. But I think the big thing for me is we used to do this so that other people could benefit as well as us, and because of everything that has happened, it's going to be less about everybody else and more about just us. I've been watching some other channels. I'll leave some links to some other channels, or a couple of the other channels that I've been watching that are not your normal, but these are more like just people telling their story, kind of like what we're transitioning to. And one thing stands out in particular is most of them have a 3-tier system. It's usually your personal growth, and then growth of the land. So land management, soil health, that kind of stuff. Or it can be vice versa. If you're not getting into it because you have a health problem, then maybe it's I want to have better soil health so I can have better food, and then I'm going to focus on my health, and then I'm going to focus on the outlying community. I think I'll be okay. I just gotta get over it. We started this for Jordan, in search of better health, and then we found out that we wanted to do better land management, better land health. So, next year, getting the animals better rotated and getting the animals in better nutrition, that's going to be a big part of next year. So, no, you can't have that. Thank you. No, you can't have that. I'll bring you another cup. How about that? But I think that's the thing here is being okay with, not about being able to provide for somebody else if you're not taking care of the other 2, because the other 2 are super important. So that way you can do it longer, if that makes sense. It'll be fun to focus on what we have, the animals that we have, the garden that we have, and the healing the land in a little bit different way, because we won't be running animals on it so much, and make sure they're getting rotated every time like they're supposed to, so they have enough feed in the area that they're staying at and not staying at. And so I think it'll be good. I'm excited about it, and it'll just be a new chapter. So I'll get to talk about that part. We've never really talked about that part before, of why it's important for us to heal not only ourselves but also the land that we're on. Yeah, so I'm excited. I'm just it'll be good, and I don't have to worry about people coming and purchase things for me. Do you know what I'm saying? I know that sounds like a really weird statement, and I'm sorry if it does, but
Alright guys, Ray and I, thank you. Can you sit? Yes. Good girl. Ray and I are home from Raleigh, so we're gonna let the crazies out. I just took some time to relax. Sometimes I feel like my body needs that. So I just laid on the couch with Ray and Robin for an hour. Just kind of hung out, enjoyed some puppy and kitty snuggles. So it is Wacky Hat or Sock Wednesday. So this is my only non-baseball cap. So I'm gonna wear it. Wacky enough, right? And then, of course, I have Australian Shepherd socks. So there we have it. Wacky Hat and Sock Wednesday. Monday was Mummy Monday. So I did not get perks for that. But I've got it down today. Tomorrow is Throwback Thursday, so we can wear clothes from another era. May or may not have that, we'll see. And then Saturday, I do work. I work Saturday night. And Saturday, you can dress up in work-appropriate Halloween costumes. So we're home! 10:57.
where'd that energy come from? You gonna have that in 2 minutes?
Probably not.